So, what does it mean by the first bit? Good and virtuous company give rise to non-attachment.
Behave more positively.
Look around the room. All different ages, all different careers, never met each other, but what do you all have in common? What are you all here for today?
You.
Certainly not me. No, but we're all here. We're all being kind. We're all sharing. All different walks of life, all different ages. Good company comes from non-attachment. There will be no egos in this room. You know, we're all here to share. We're all here to be kind. We're all here to learn from each other. I said this yesterday, didn't I? It's not about me. I'm just holding the space. I'm just putting that seed out there, and then we're communicating. We're learning from each other. When I couldn't get the telly to work yesterday, you know, there's no ego. It's asking for help. It's learning to share. That's when you know you're with good people. It's like what we said yesterday. It's like, yes, there has to be a get up and go, but I'm not willing to step over your heads to get to it. It's not like, look everybody, I'm the teacher, look at me, 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 me. No. No. It's mutually beneficial. I want to learn from you as well as you learning from me. So what does it mean from non-attachment?
Not being materialistic.
Yes. That's when it comes back to what we spoke about yesterday. So on the second chant, if I offered you a matchstick, would you be grateful? Yeah. It's like, what is it? We've spoke about this before. Like, why do you want to be my friend? Why do you want to be my partner? Is it because you're happy with that matchstick? Or is it because you want something from me? Do you want to be seen with me? Do you want to be, you know, this is the thing, you know? One of my teachers, Jessica, Anna like this, one of my teachers put in and asked, what's the new thing out? She asked this, I don't even know, right? She asked it, what the typical yoga teacher should look like, yeah? And it's like, you know, it's like with the hot pants and the perfect figure and the boobs out and the long blonde hair and the tan. Oh, it's me. No. But it's like, you know, what is it? It's this image that we want. But what about what comes from inside? Isn't that more important than the scene? So in yoga, the scene is called Leela. It's the play of life. And you choose your character you want to play. So what we're looking for is to free ourselves from the scene and you be the seer. So it makes you start to question what the question I asked you last night. Where are you putting your faith? Where are you putting your faith? What are you putting your faith in? And unfortunately, we're putting our faith in to things. More and more things. And we have to be very careful of that. Yeah? Now, I speak from experience. You know, we get on very well now, me and my ex. But it got to the point of like, how big do we want the house? How many horses do we need? We have 3. We have 6 dogs. we have chickens, we have a biggest business in London, North London motorcycle dealership, okay? I have £1,000 probably a week that I don't even know to do, and I was lonely. I can't tell you how lonely I was. Things don't bring that freedom from inside. It doesn't bring that contentment. We gather more things. Why do we gather more things? Why do people gather more things? I'm not saying everybody in this room, because it's not just about you. Why do we gather more things? What are we trying to do? And isn't it trying to fill that void? You know? It's trying to fill that void. I've got people I know who I work with. They get really excited when the postman comes to deliver them a parcel. Yeah? They're like, oh, yes! And then they'll have to send it back because it doesn't fit, right? And then they're like forever queuing to send things back. And then they're trying to get excited, you know. Oh, look, another cushion for the sofa. Fleeting. It's not sustainable. Happiness is right up there. It's not sustainable. What's sustainable? Contentment. Think about it. Are you content? It's another question to ask you. I was on every yoga course. I was on every retreat. A very dear teacher of mine, Andrea, she turned around and said, you're not coming on anything else. I was devastated. She was like, what? You're not coming on anything else. You need to go away and use everything you know and stop becoming a walking library. Because I was just filling. I was trying to fill everything that I possibly could. Fill, looking for something, instead of stopping and looking inwards. So you need to know what you're trying to free yourself from. Once you know what you're trying to free yourself from, you can find that contentment. If you don't know what you're trying to free yourself from, how are you going to find it? You're running around. Be the ocean of awareness. Be aware. Now, I love you all dearly, but you know I'm very honest, right? I put everything on that WhatsApp message, but most of you wouldn't look. And it's about that being aware, being conscious, you know? It's like being aware of your space that's going on, being aware what you're doing, being aware what you're signing up for, being present, because we're so looking elsewhere, we're not here. Has anybody ever walked down the street and then go, oh, I didn't know that house was there? Yeah? Because we're not aware, we're not present. We're just not present. So this is one of the most famous chants from the Bhagavad Gita, the offering of leaves. And it's just to remind us that, can we be happy with that? Can we be happy with a gentle offering? Can we be happy with that? So, the Bhagavad Gita, we said, is a story about a battlefield. So, the book that we're talking about today, the Bhagavad Gita, or this weekend, is a Song of Lords. So I want you to visualize, if you haven't had it, I'm going to give you a quick background for those that haven't read it or know the story. So there's this lovely warrior, Arjuna, and he's on the battlefield and he's going to war for his brothers. It's not even his battle, and he's on this battlefield for his family, yeah? So he asks his driver to take him into the middle of the battlefield. Krishna is his driver. Take him into the middle of the battlefield so he can observe the scene of what's happening. He looks around, he sees family, friends, everybody fighting against him. And he turns to his charioteer and he doesn't want to go to war. He doesn't want to go to battle. And he drops to his knees. Remember this story? How old was this book? A couple of thousands of years old. So he's having a panic attack. That's what we understand it in modern times. So he drops to his knees and he's breathless. This is a great warrior. One point of focus. He's always aware. And now he's having this panic attack. And he's questioning everything. What is life about? Why am I here? What is the purpose? In the middle of a battlefield. His charioteer is very much like me. Okay? He gets up and he looks at him and he's like, what are you doing? Get up. There's only one thing you can do. And fight. You know, get up off the floor. You've got to fight. He drops his bow. Yeah? He's lets go of his bow and he's just done in. He can't do it. So this is what I'm talking about teachers, your guru. His charioteer becomes his teacher, right? And he's actually what you call God. This is an avatar of him, yeah? So he starts to teach him what is life about. So is it an actual battlefield? Or is it a battle in everyone's mind? Fear, anxiety, frustration, feeling that you're at a battle with your family or loved ones, feeling that you're at war with them. Has anybody ever felt like that? Yeah? That you feel that you're butting heads all the time. So this is why, you know, it's not a physical battle. He's not going to slay his family. But the image that it's giving this book is that what you're going through, that we're all going through. Have you ever dropped to your knees and feel like that? You don't have to physically drop to your knees. And that's what I'm saying. It becomes that way. So when I asked you, where are you putting your faith? You have to know what you're searching for to know where you put your faith. So I've had lots of different situations in my life over the years, loads of situations. Oh, we could write a book, couldn't we, Anne? Yeah? But I remember I put my faith in materialistic things. I know you're going to find this very hard to believe, but back in the day, I was a little diva. Back in the day, I was an absolute bitch. You were blessed to be seen with me, right? You were blessed. Clothes, where I was going, who I was going to be seen with, what I was going to wear, what I weren't going to wear. That was all that I cared about. But I didn't. Inside, I was dying. Yeah? I'd go to one modelling agency, I was too fat. I'd go to another modelling agency, I was too thin. I'd go to another modelling agency, they want to cut my hair off. That was my world. Picked up, dropped. Yeah? Do this. Maybe come back with me to me when you have a boob job. I remember sitting in Covent Garden with my father discussing if I should have my boobs done to get a job. That was my world. I had an eating disorder, I was lonely, I didn't trust anybody, I didn't know if anybody actually really liked me. I was so lonely. But I had a secret, several secrets, but the good secret I had was that I loved philosophy and I loved to learn about the church and I was interested in myths and legends. But you know what? It wasn't cool. I was bullied at school, I was sexually abused, I was in abusive relationships, and my world was spiralling. And several years on, I had a baby boy. And as I went to pass out in my kitchen of not eating probably for about a week, and I went to hit my head on the back of the counter, and my son said 2 little words to me. I see you. As he looked through his crib and I was about to pass out, he said, I see you. And ever since then, I've put my faith in learning who I am, not worrying about the scene. Because when you're lonely, that scene doesn't care about you. He saw me for who I was. Nobody else did. And when I was a single mum living in that bedset, all them people that wanted to be out with me and seen with me, they weren't seen. They weren't around. So choose where you put your faith very carefully. I am not my mind, I'm not my body, even though I have a body. And me and Kathy have discussed this many times over the years because, you know, I'm physically have a bad ankle at the moment. And it's like, hold on a minute, but I can feel the pain in my ankle. I know that I have a body and I know that this ankle's playing up. But what happens is some of that pain that we're feeling actually is coming from our mind. So the more we can control our mind, the more that we can actually even control our pain. So it's that. So this battlefield that Arjuna's in, and he's turning to his charioteer Krishna himself, yeah, it's that battle. And then turning to this person that he's had like working for him. He's turning to him and asking him. So he asked him the ultimate questions about faith and about what's happening in his life. I actually think there is a part of, in this day and age, it's a part of that my duty is as a daughter, my duty is as a wife, my duty is as a mother. That's my dharma. But there has to be a part of that has to come from inside me. I can't run away from who I am. So I tried to do everything that I thought my family wanted me to do, to be this particular daughter. But when I knew that wasn't making me happy, I'm still respectful for my family, I'm still respectful for my mum, and I still look after my mum, but she doesn't understand my yoga. She's like, she doesn't get that, but my duty is still to love her and be her daughter. Does that make sense? So I think there is a part of your dharma, your duty, that you can't run away from. But there has to be a truth within inside you. Your husband not necessarily understands yoga, but you're still his wife. So your duty, if you want to call it that, you know, is to look after him. That's your dharma. But you have to have something for you. And I think we spoke about this yesterday, that I have to go through pain to understand pain. And then that I understand pleasure then. So there has to be this give and take. I have to take the seat of the teacher here, but we're still having a conversation. Otherwise you'll all be looking at each other and going, well, who's running this? What time's this? So I have to take the seat of the teacher, which really shits me up, right? I have to take the seat of the teacher, but we can still have a conversation. So I think that part is the Dharma. So yes, he does tell him through the chapters that he has to get up and fight. But I think that it's not so much now, but I know growing up, my dad even spoke about a caste system. He always used to go to me, we're a good working class family. You know, we're a good working class family. And when I had become a single mum, they were like, well, you chose to have it. You can't ask for help. So it was like, we're a working class family, you know. So even then, you know, I'm old, but I'm only 50, you know. Even then there was this like, because I wasn't married, I was bringing shame to my family. It wasn't that long ago, you know. They wanted me to have an abortion. It was shame that I was bringing to the family. So when people say this book, what we've got here, is outdated, I don't think it is.
History repeats itself.
I don't think it's that far from where we are. You just have to look at it in a different way. The battle that he's also talking about, and then he does this field of awareness. This is mentioned many times in the book, this field of awareness. When you have a field of awareness, what do you think that means? So the more that we're calm in the battle within one's mind, the more that we're aware of the scene. We know where we're going. We know where we're moving from, because we have to step back. How many of you have reacted to something and then a few weeks later or a day later or a minute later going, oh, for fuck's sake, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have spoke like that. I shouldn't have acted like that. It's like a minute later, we're doing that in the chakras. A minute later, a week later, we're suddenly like, why did I react like that? Why did I be like that? And, you know, sometimes we need to take a step back, look at the scene, and then make our decision. You know, even in a minute later, a year later, you might have gone, oh, yeah, I did the right thing, but I didn't handle it the right way. That's the thing. A thought is an action in rehearsal. So that can take a while, and after a while of practicing that, you'll become quicker at it. So it's like, you know, I say it's like before you speak, you go through the 3 gates, isn't it? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? Is it kind? You know, take the step back to pause before. And this is what he's doing. As Julie said, he actually gets up and fights, but he's dropped to his knees. He's taking that moment, several chapters, to actually look at the scene, the field of awareness. You're aware of it. I said to you, you know, how many of you wasn't aware that I put all the information out there? It's being connected inside, being aware of what's going on, being present. And this is what we said about mantras. Repetition, repetition. Then the magic arises. Society wants it now. Yeah? We were talking this morning. Don't worry. Sign up to this course, give me $2,000, and you can manifest it. You don't have to work at it. You don't have to be a 1,000-hour yoga teacher. You just manifest it. What if it was that fucking easy? I would have done it years ago. You have to have faith in what you're doing, believing it, and then put in the tapas, put in the hard work. Because the scriptures say you can receive whatever you want over a long period of time. You've got to work at it. You can think it, plant the seeds, water them, take care of them, nourish them, and let them grow. Put your faith in it. Plant your seeds, water it, take care of it, nourish it, have the faith in it, and it will grow. It will flourish. But that doesn't happen overnight.